English building now, and as the name says, it is home to our English department, but it wasn't always that way. Since we weren't exactly a co-educational institution when we started out, it used to be home to the women's dorms and the women's swimming pool.
It brings back a lot of memories. I think I used to try to sneak in there to meet my girlfriend, but they had closed door policies for guys.
You're just a general purpose, general timeline of Lovelace.
Yeah. And so, a fun fact about the swimming pool is somebody drowned in the swimming pool. Okay, so it's not a fun fact, it's just a fact. Somebody drowned in the swimming pool, and they say the English building is now haunted by the ghost of that girl.
So where's the pool in this building again?
This would be in the basement.
It used to be in the basement, no longer in existence.
Yeah. When did it get transformed into the English building?
Say again?
When did it get transformed into the English building?
I don't know the date.
We could look that up for you and then get in touch with our VP of Service and Outreach and send that information on.
So this is the monument called the Eternal Flame. This was the gift of the graduating class of 1912. The story about this is that if you kiss beneath the flame, your love will be eternal. Back in the day, the flame used to be eternally on, so tied into the love. But nowadays it's a light bulb and it's often off like it is now. So nowadays it's also heard an on again, off again relationship if you kiss beneath the flame.
So that's why that was on.
Yeah, that's probably it. Sorry.
That's sad.
It'll come back on for you.
Would you like to be my girlfriend for the night?
So right now we're outside Lincoln Hall. Lincoln Hall is one of the largest buildings on campus in terms of academic space. It said about 10% of all of our students will go through here for part of their class time.
It is home to the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences, which due to the construction now is not housed here. It's kind of tucked away in the Computer Applications building on Springfield Avenue, which is way up north.
You know when this is supposed to be done?
I think the projected completion date is 2015, so we still.
Is there any other construction on campus going on like this, or why didn't they just tear down the whole thing?
Well, Lincoln Hall is actually a historical monument. Being one of the very old buildings on campus, they value its history more than just the value of the building. So they put several $1 million into the renovations, and it's like one of the many buildings on campus under renovations. Later we'll see natural history buildings also under construction.
And a quick fact about Lincoln Hall when it is open, there's a bust of Abe Lincoln's head, and before finals people would rub his nose for good luck, and so his nose is entirely green now from the rust.
And that bust is actually over in the Spurlock Art Museum right now. They have him relocated. Here's patio dealie. On this patio there's this copper circle. This copper circle marks the focus of the ellipse formed by the buildings of the quad. And if you're familiar with the physics of an ellipse, anything you say in the focus will echo back to you. So this is one of the few places on the planet you can hear your own echo outside. It's a little bit windy today, so we might not be able to hear a whisper, but on a good calm day you can hear you and your whisper echo. And then behind us is Fullinger Auditorium. Fullinger Auditorium is home to our largest classroom setting on campus, with Econ 102 and 103 housing about 700 students. And I think we'll talk a little bit more about Fullinger.
Take any of those classes while you were here?
Mind if we go look inside too? Is that okay?
Sure, Dave.
Hey, you wouldn't have to have Fred Godtime, would you?
I actually did. He was around in the 50s too.
How old was he back
I
then?
think he was only 15 teaching.
Now we're coming around to the south side of Fullinger Auditorium, and here we're coming up to two major things. Firstly, it's the two statues from the Timeline of Life series. This was also done by Laredo Taft, the guy who made Alma Mater. And it's a series of 4 statues where it goes from man as clay, and just swing around over to the main library, you'll see man as actual man. I think it was supposed to be like 16 statues in total, but he never completed the series, just these 4. And then on the same spot, we're also at Alma's original resting place. Alma Mater used to be located in this little curvy tree area, but again, she was so secluded here that students would climb up and make out with their boyfriend and girlfriend. University wasn't having that.
Happened a couple of times.
What?
It only happened a couple of times.
Maybe for you. Alright, so right now we're even further back from Fullinger Auditorium, and now we can see the top of the building, and then you see that little bud popping out. That bud is an upside-down pineapple, which is the international sign of welcome. So the building is welcoming you to the university.
We have the undergraduate library, and if you look around you, you might not see anything. And that's actually because the undergrad library is built entirely underground. So there are 2 floors. The first floor is a little bit more social. The second floor has a lot of quiet study areas. And there are a couple of reasons that have been floated around for why the undergrad library was built the way it was built. Some say that it was built underground so it wouldn't block the sunlight going to the Morrow Plot, which I'm sure you've also remembered. But the real reason is it was part of this campus mall initiative to landscape this south portion of campus, and the open design called for the undergraduate library to be built underground.
This wasn't here when I was here, was it? In the 50s?
Well, it depends on what time you were here. It's varied throughout our tour, but no, it was, I believe in the 60s, it was put underground.
Okay.
There used to be an above-ground building, but relocated to
Now, what is that right there?
That there's McFarland Bell Tower that was just completed in 2009. That was also part of that same strategic plan to create that image for the university. That plan created back in the 1940s to have a carillon on campus. That was donated by Rich McFarland in memory of his wife, fairly well-off alumnus who also helped fund our ACES library. Next to McFarland's Bell Tower, you see that White House.
Oh yeah, I remember that house.
That White House is the Mumford House. Back in the day, the Mumford family owned all land south of Gregory Drive, the street in front of us right here, that the university now owns. But they donated that land to the university with the stipulation that their house would remain standing, so that is their house, still standing today.
So here we are at another historic University of Illinois landmark, which are the Morrow Plots, and they are the world's largest, or the world's oldest continuously used experimental crop field. And the reason I add all those qualifications to it is that there was one in Europe, I believe, that was started earlier than the Morrow Plots, but was later no longer in use. So we're the ones that have been here the longest and are still being used.
Morrow Plots, they do various experiments on the corn. Corn is always grown on this north one, and they do crop rotation on the south too. And if you look on the far, far side of the Morrow Plots, you see those 3 bizarre statues. Those are called Plato's Playground. They're actually giant representations of human proteins. So they represent the folds that proteins make within your body and within the cells of your body, emphasizing how geeky we can be on campus.
Is that building new?
That building is very new. That's the Institute for Genomic Biology, one of the smartest buildings on campus. Just completed within the past 10 years, I believe. But it is one of our major research hubs on campus. As a research institution, we have various research areas, this one being the one focused on biology.
Alright, so here we're looking at our observatory, which has a full functioning telescope so you can gaze into the stars. I think pretty much any student is allowed to, reserve a spot to sign up and check it out. Previously, some less than upstanding individuals would use the telescope to gaze into the Delta Gamma house, which is a little bit further down the road. And because of that reason, we now have an angle restriction on the telescope, so you cannot go completely flat and see whatever is going on in a sorority house.
Foreign language building. The foreign language building has this bizarre architecture, and that's kind of inspired a rumor. The rumor is that it was built that way so that back when it housed a supercomputer, if whoever attacked, the building would collapse outward away from the supercomputer instead of inward on top of it. That's another just rumor. The supercomputer that was housed here was called Plato, and it was actually a campus-wide supercomputer. It was used for communications, so it was not centrally located in this building. So even if it were attacked, the supercomputer would still work. So it's again just a rumor. And the architecture is actually just the architecture today. If you walk 3 blocks that way to our psychology building, you'll find one with the same architecture.
So here we are at Davenport Hall, which used to be the home of the College of Agriculture, as you can see up there. It's down home to geography, and so I don't have much interaction with the building. Mostly, the only times I've been in there are for student alumni ambassadors, but if you want to get the word out about one of the events we're putting on, such as homecoming, we'll go in there, post flyers on the bulletin boards so that we can, cover all our bases on all the different buildings.
And right now we're walking along our main quad. On campus we have the 3 major quads, but here's the main quad. Here you'll see students playing frisbee or tanning, and for student alumni ambassadors, one of the really cool things we do is during our homecoming weekend, we have our pep rally actually take place right here on this main quad. Well, the celebration's kind of focused on Fullinger Auditorium back there, but then we'll have all kinds of festivities spread out throughout the quad.
Are there any concerts on the quad or anything?
Very often there are concerts on the quad. Again, during homecoming week, we'll have some sort of performance up at the north end during the celebration kickoff, I hope.
And then during our pep rally, we're down on the south side by Fullinger, and we have the Marching Illini play. We have the Illinois dance team perform. So it's a very active part of our campus.
All right. Well, guys, it's 2 o'clock. I gotta head out to some meeting. I gotta give my theory on evolution to a big, huge group on campus. I don't know really who I'm talking to, but I really appreciate the tour.
I really appreciate your time,
and I really want to give you guys this so you guys.
Unfortunately, we're not allowed to take tips. Thank you very much. If you wanted to help us out, you could donate to the Alumni Association. Kind of make a note for the student alumni ambassadors, and that would help us out.
Okay, well, I appreciate it too.
All right, thank you very much, Dave.
It's nice to meet you, Dave.
And thanks a lot. I hope to see you guys in speak contact next time I come down.
Absolutely.
Bottoms up, ever see you come? Got a couple bottles, but a couple ain't enough. Bottoms up, throw your hands up. Tell security we about to tear this club up. Bottoms up.
Is fast food not really on campus with no McDonald's or Burger Kings? That's just my observation.
You know what it is, girl, we back up in this thing. Money stay in my pocket, girl, I'm like a walking bank. Tell me what you drink.
That's not true. He wasn't first president. He had a different title. Oh, you're recording.
Do you hear me? All around the world, city to city. Cheers to the girls, or juice to the guys. Now I got a chicken and a goose and a rat.
So just point to. Oh yeah.
Ever see you come? Got a couple bottles, but a couple ain't enough. Bottoms up, throw your hands up.
1850 something.
Built by the Native Americans.
Harold had it.
Dude, I really want to take this summer, take a dance class, all different dances.